So, bit of an okay, hang on, it's just not liking me there. Okay, yeah, bit of an impromptu sort of catch up today, I guess, just to go over a couple of things to make sure, I guess, that some of you are feeling supported and are getting some help with how to ask when you first join the business. With how to ask for with regards to selling products, with regards to talking about the business, how to handle objections, rejections, all that kind of stuff, all the stuff that we deal with in this business. And I know there's a couple of other people that actually want to listen to this as well. So I have recorded it, but I won't be posting it in the main page. So if there's anyone in particular this needs to go to, just let me know and I will send it on. Really, with where you guys are at when you first start the business, the main reason I think that we really ask you to plug into everything, and when I say plug in, I mean jump on the training calls and attend whatever we have in Perth, which will be restarting, but basically just get on those training calls, listen to SoundClouds, do your personal development. The main reason that we ask you to do that is because when you first join, you're not getting the big paychecks yet. Okay. So as once you start to get to the VP level or even area and above, you've got enough money coming in that it kind of keeps you in the game. But when you first start, you might have been, given a dream, a vision, whatever that may be. But when that money's not actually coming to you regularly, you need to stay plugged in to keep that vision and that dream alive, because at the start you need to keep doing the work without getting the massive paychecks. You will still get paid, but you're not going to get the massive paychecks. Once you get to like a VP level, you can very easily see the worth in what you're doing. Okay. Someone can say no to you and you're like, I don't care, because it really doesn't matter to us anymore. Do you know what I mean? But when you first start, you don't have that. You don't have that resilience yet. And like I said, you're not getting paid enough to feel like crap when you get rejected. So that is why at the start, we really recommend that you stay plugged into everything and really work on your personal development, listen to SoundClouds and things like that, because you need that to keep you inspired and motivated and working your business. So that's just a little bit on that as to why it's so important. And look, it's important for everyone to stay plugged in to feel that way. But obviously, once you're making some pretty decent money, that's also a very big motivator too. So at the beginning, it's really important to make sure that you do stay plugged in. It's for your own benefit and to help you feel good. Now, when it comes to having someone join your business or being able to sell products or booking workshops or anything like that, quite often it can take more than one, well, generally it always does take more than one exposure before people will say yes to you. So there's a fine line between following up and being annoying. We don't ever want to really be super annoying, but you can generally, when you're talking to someone, gauge the conversation and know sort of, whether you can follow up, and you can ask for permission. If someone says no to you about something, you can be like, that's no problem. Do you mind if I check in with you in a couple of months? Or do you mind if I, depending on what it is you're talking about, and I have got some examples to share. But the fortune really is in the follow-up. So, generally, if you ask someone to join this business, they will not always say yes straight away. They will generally, you'll have to go back a couple of times. So sometimes it might be within a week, sometimes it might be over the span of a year. But, it's something that you work on. And it's the same with the 30 days to healthy living. There's a lot of toing and froing. Sometimes some people jump straight in, but with others, it's a bit of a, they call it a bit of a dating game, going back and forth. So a bit of a courting. So, not that I'm any expert on that. But I am the expert in Arbonne. So, that's what your social media is for as well. Your social media is another touch point for people. So, you might have mentioned the 30 days and then they see you, with your drink bottle or making your shake. And that's a really subtle way to have that touch point with the person without you actually talking to them. So if they're watching your socials, that's still an exposure and that's still a touch point, so that the next time you go back to them, they'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I am ready to give this a go. So that's what your social media is for. And I really want to encourage you with your social media to show yourself with the products. So I feel like you young ones in particular have nailed that. No one wants to look at a bag of protein on its own. That's quite boring. But if you show me yourself drinking a shake or pouring a shake or doing something, that's engaging. So, never just the stock standard. And Stuart Armfield has an amazing social selling series on The Source, which has lots of tips on what to do and what not to do. And they're just 5-minute little videos, which they're amazing. He's highly entertaining. And he goes, you know, he very blatantly tells you what's interesting to watch and what is not interesting to watch. So he's amazing on there. So how do we actually ask? Let me pull up my little document here. Okay. Let's start with asking someone to have a look at your business. Now, sponsoring is so important in this business. We need business builders. There, you know, our network will only go so far. You know, you can still get referrals and all of that, but at the end of the day, you need people to join and then their network and people to join. And that's big picture. That is what's going to grow your income and grow your wealth so that you get paid when you're sleeping, basically, which is the dream, you know, to just have that income rolling in, which is pretty amazing. So if you were to contact someone, and I can send you these documents as well that I've done, but if you're going to contact someone about the business, you would basically say something along the lines of, hey, how you going? You may have seen that I've recently started an Arbonne business or online health and wellness business called Arbonne. Have you heard of it? I'm looking for savvy business partners and I thought of you because of. And then what is your reason? Like, just be authentic. Why did you think of them? Do they have a great business brain? Do they have a good network? Do they have a fantastic personality? Do you know that they're struggling to pay school fees? Do you know that they want to take more holidays? Like, you want to give the reason of why you know, like, I thought of you because I know you were mentioning that, you know, you guys couldn't afford to go away this year, or I know you mentioned that you're going to have to get a job because, you know, you couldn't afford the school fees or whatever it is. You know, just want to be authentic. And then you want to say, it may or may not be for you. And the reason we say that is we want people to know they've got an out clause. We don't want them to feel bombarded. So it may or may not be for you. But if I sent you some information, would you be open to taking a look? So again, it's very important that it may or may not be for you. It's letting them off the hook. It's giving them an out so they feel comfortable. And you're asking them to take a look. You're not asking them to actually join. You're not saying, you know, are you interested in joining? That's a big decision to make sort of on the spot. But if you're saying, you know, if I sent you some information, would you be open to taking a look at it? They're just saying yes to looking at the information, okay? They know that you're aware it might not be for them, so they don't feel scared to say yes. So that's a really simple way. Don't spew Arbonne. Don't say anything else. It's a little paragraph. They don't, you know, no one wants to open their messages and see a 3-page essay because it's like, holy shit, you know? So just a nice little neat paragraph. If they want more information, they're going to ask you. So if they say no, you can literally go back and say, look, no problems at all. You know, thanks for getting back to me. Do you know of anyone with a good work ethic that is looking for a change or some extra cash? You know, boom, no worries, that's fine. Do you know of anyone? And again, it's 2 lines, but then just, you know, moving past them and onto that referral. So, you know, they then think, oh, okay, you know, they may change their mind, or they may be able to, and they might think, oh gosh, you know what, my girlfriend was just saying, you know, like she's wanting to move out, or she's split from her husband, or she's just had a baby, or whatever it could be. So that's a really nice, neat way to ask about the business. And if they say, yeah, okay, send me some information. We want to send a Discover Arbonne. Ideally, that is relevant to them. So if it's a school teacher, we send a school teacher. If it's a, you know, an accountant, we send Danielle. You know, we've got Brits and my DA as well. A lot of them have been removed due to compliance. So they're all being redone at the moment, but there still are quite a few on there. There's one from Michelle, National Vice President Sutherland. There's quite a few up there. Emily Swafield's just done another one. So there is still quite a few up there that we can use. So again, if you're not sure, this is not something that you need to do on your own. Go to your upline and be like, oh, they said yes, what do I do? Like, you know, and then we'll say to you, okay, what do they do? Tell me a little bit about them, and we will help you find that video. So you're not on your own here. Don't be scared to sponsor, because sometimes people are actually scared of success more than they're scared of failure. And the fear of having someone join you and you not knowing what the hell to do with them is also quite terrifying. So again, just know, you know, it's a role that you learn. And again, you know, your mentor will teach you how to be a mentor. So, you know, if you join and someone joins straight along with you, you learn together. If you've been in the business a month or two, again, you won't actually be doing everything with that person. You'll still be involved, but it will go to the person above you so they can help coach and mentor them. So don't be terrified that it's all going to land in your lap and you have no clue what you're doing, because we are there to support you. And really, when you first start, you're not expected to, you are expected to be there for the first steps training. But if you're brand new, you wouldn't be running that first steps training. You would just be sitting in and watching how it's done until your upline thought you were ready to do it yourself. So again, don't feel like you're just going to be, handed everything and gone, oh, fantastic, off you go, well done, grow a team. There's a lot of support there for you as well. Now, moving on, when you are asking someone to look at the 30 days to healthy living or some of our products, what I find really works really well for me is when I'm actually doing the program to say to people, look, hey, I'm jumping on the 30 days to healthy living. If most of my friends, obviously now everyone in my network pretty much knows what it is because I've been doing this for a while, but you can just say it's a reset for the body. Again, don't give them too much information, and to say I'm looking for people to do it with me. It's fun when we do it as a group. It's a reset for the body that helps with mood, bloating, clearing skin, energy levels, and weight loss. Do you need help in any of these areas? Do you have any health? Actually, we probably can't say weight loss anymore, so possibly weight management. Do you need help in any of these areas? Do you have any health challenges at the moment? And the reason I like that is because you're asking them what their problem is, what their concern is. And if they come back and say, no, look, I am kicking goals, I'm perfect, I'm exactly where I need to be, I think you'll find that's very rare. But you'll be like, no worries. Do you know of anyone that is struggling at the moment? And, I can help and that might be interested in doing this with me. But 99% of people are going to go, oh my God, I've put on so much weight in isolation, or I'm always bloated, or I've got this thing. And they just, they will tell you all of their ailments and they can't sleep and this and that. So, all of that. I'm always tired. I can't get out of bed, all that kind of stuff, especially with the colder weather. So generally people will give you a list of what is wrong with them. So again, they write back, they tell you what's wrong and be like, okay, well, look, how about I flick you a quick video? You can watch it. Let me know, what you think. And yeah, Jen, then you just send, I have a lot of success with Rick and my YouTube video, but Dr. Tanda Cook also has one, which you're welcome to look up and use. So either of those is absolutely fine. Send them the clip so that they can watch it. Generally, they will come back and just ask for the price. I just send the price across. And again, same method for closing pretty much. What I would do is once they say yes, I would just say to them, great, have you got any friends that want to do it with you? If you can refer a couple of people, I'm happy to give you a free shaker cup or a free water bottle or anything like that. So that's just a little, if they can send you one or two people that want to do the program with you, that's well worth it for you to be able to buy them a shaker cup or a water bottle. So, that's just, you could have 2 or 3 people right there that start to do the 30 days. So that's pretty cool. So generally, the system that we use is very, very similar for asking for, business and chats. We just want to make sure we're not spewing information on people. Just give them a little bit. And if they want some more, then, it's creating that conversation and just getting them interested. I hope you guys are staying with me. I don't want to keep this too long. I'm just trying to help you. I might just pop this verbiage up as well if you guys want. Hosting a workshop, again, it's just saying I've recently started my own health and wellness, or even if it's not recent, I'm revamping or I'm growing my health and wellness business. I'm really focused on growing it at the moment. But when you're new, you do have the advantage of saying, I've recently started, or, and I'm learning how to present. I need to learn, what to say to people. Would you be interested in getting a few friends together so I can come and practice? That always worked really well for me, because people are like, oh, sure, no worries, I'll do you a solid, I'll help you out. And you just say, look, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I'm just learning. So I just need some people to practice. I find that people's biggest concern is that they feel like they can't get enough people for you. Everyone always says, oh, I don't know enough people, or I won't be able to get anyone there. So just make it really clear. I don't care if there's only 2 people there. I just need to practice. Majority of the time, that will make them feel better. They feel like the pressure is off. Quite often they still get 6 or 7 people there. But even if they don't, I've had like 1,000 QV workshops with 2 people there. The numbers actually don't really matter with the amount of people, because I know I had one. I never let anyone cancel a workshop. I don't. Not even if it's one person, I will go and do a one-on-one. I don't cancel for anything. You don't know who that person is. So to me, there is always value in it. And yeah, I've had quite a few where there's been 2 people and I've walked away with, you know, amazing QV from it. So it's quite intimate when you're in that setting, when you're talking to people. So yeah, basically you should never cancel anything you have, unless a leg is falling off or an arm is falling off. So yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, you just never know who is going to be there. And if you've got people willing to attend, you should definitely always be there. So if they say I've only got 3 people coming, you go, great, fantastic, cannot wait. All right. So don't ever let them cancel. And yeah, generally I will gift my host as well. And I just say, look, I'm happy to give you something as a small thank you. And, you know, if you're fairly new in the business, that can just be like, a few fizz sticks and a hydration or something. It doesn't have to be massive. It's just a gesture of something nice. Okay. As you move up in the business a little bit, you can afford to be a little bit more generous. But at the beginning, it is literally just a gesture of thank you. So don't feel like you have to go spending $1 million. You can get a mug from Kmart for $3 and pop some fizz sticks in there with a bow around it, something like that. It's just a gesture and a little card. So now, when people say yes, the way, never ever let them go away and check out with their friends when it's a good time, because people are busy and they will not get to you with a date. You need to say to them, great, weeknight or weekend? And then they'll go, oh, okay, weekend. You go, right, Friday night, Saturday or Sunday. Then they'll pick and you go, right, I've got a 10 a.m. or a 2 p.m. And then they'll probably go, oh, I prefer afternoon. Sweet. Okay, so we'll lock it in for Saturday at 2. And they'll be like, oh, but I just need to check. And you go, no worries. Look, while we're here and our diaries are free, I'll pop it in. You set it up and ask everyone. If they can't make it, we'll shift it. But if not, we'll just, pop it in for them. So at least we've blocked that out in the diary. Okay. That's how you get a booking, because, you know, you kind of make it so that it happens and then you can shift it if you need to. But because otherwise it's impossible to pin people down with a date. If they go back to their friends, it's going to probably go over into the next month by the time you get something sorted. So, you know, just say, look, everyone is never going to be able to attend. People are busy. We just do what we can. If some can't come, that's absolutely fine. At the moment, we are obviously running with the 15-minute online workshops. They are so easy to book because they're 15 minutes. Like, who's not going to want to book a 15-minute workshop with the thought of getting free stuff? It's 15 minutes, seriously. Like, you know what I mean? People spend 15 minutes just scrolling on Insta or Facebook or, I don't know, sitting on the toilet. Like, seriously, it's 15 minutes, like, you know, and they're going to do you a massive favor, possibly get a really good free gift and some discounted products if they want. If they don't want discounted products, they can just have a free gift if people buy. So, you really need to be asking for 15-minute online workshops to get into new networks. So again, it's really casual. Hey, Han, I've just started a business, or hey, I'm, you know, just launching my online business, or I'm growing my online business. Can I ask you for a favor? You know, I'd be so you know, happy or whatever if you would host a 15-minute online workshop for me. You don't have to do anything. I'll set it up. You just invite the people. We shut it down after 48 hours, and I'll just go on there and share about healthy living, you know, and some nutrition that we have, or whatever it is that they're interested in. You can choose what you want to do, or do a bit of everything. But if someone asked me as a favor to host them a 15-minute workshop, I'm not going to say no. Like, who would say no to that? It's quite mean. But I suppose some people will. But, you know, it's just, if you're asking people, generally, you're going to get some yeses for those. I feel like they're a lot easier to book than the physical get together where people have to do treats and snacks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, 15-minute online workshops are really easy to set up. You need to make sure you coach your host on how to invite. Okay, a blanket ad to 10 million people is probably not going to cut the mustard. We need a little message to go with it so they know what they're being invited to. Otherwise, yeah, they're probably just going to ignore it. I don't know about you guys. I get invited to a lot of things, and sometimes I just look at it, and if I don't know what it is, I'm like, no, thank you. I've got so many groups, like, I'm not interested. So, you know, but if someone messages me and goes, oh, hey, babe, this is blah, 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 I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. And then I'll go in. Okay, so you need to host your, God, I can't get that out. Coach your host as to how to invite people. That's very important into those groups. And then I've got a whole other training on how they are run, but your upline can share that with you. Okay, so when it comes to objections and rejections. Now, when people reject you, as in they don't even open your message, my God, it's a whole nother training there. The biggest question I always get asked by consultants is, but why would they not just respond? Why do they just ignore me? It happens to everyone, and it's by people you wouldn't expect it from, and it cuts you deep. You're like, but they saw it and they just haven't responded. Like, now it's really awkward. Like, now what do I do? You're like, why wouldn't they just say something? It's the shittest thing ever. I don't know why it happens. I don't know why people do that. Like, some people probably do forget to respond. I don't know if they just think if they ignore it, it'll go away, but it's like, it's so awkward now. Like, why would you do that? You know, but look, I don't have the answer for that. It's been happening since the day network marketing began. People just do it. I don't know if what they think is going to happen. They're not confident enough maybe to say no. They don't want to be mean, but it's actually meaner to not respond. It really is. But it's just something, you know, you learn now. I just laugh sometimes. I've got, like, if it's someone that I know quite well, I've got one girl in particular actually, and I know her, but I don't know her, but she's been around, you know, for ages. And I asked her to do a 15-minute online one, and she ignored me. And I wrote back and I said, oh, should I take that as a no then? Like a week later, she still hasn't responded. I don't care. But I was like, seriously? Like, you know, but that's me, and that's my humor as well. I was like, come on, like, let's just have a laugh about this, seriously. Because I just thought it was pathetic that she didn't even respond. Anyway, but it happens. So it absolutely happens. Do not let it bother you. You cannot let stuff like that bother you guys. It's just, it is what it is. It says more about them than you. They just don't feel confident enough to respond. So don't. Yeah. Now, objections. Objections are actually not necessarily a bad thing. They're actually, it means it's a request for more information. Like, they're engaging with you and they're asking questions. So yeah, that's a good thing. It's actually a good thing, because they're not just going, oh my God, that's so not for me. They're like, okay. So they're, you know, they're like, well, what about this? So don't think of objections as a bad thing. It is literally just asking for more information. So don't get defensive. You know, that was when I first started. I was a very reactive person, and I would get my back up over things, and I was, that was, you know, so I've done a lot of work to try and not be that person as much. Still can come out sometimes. But you really want to let them know that you are listening to them, and use the feel, felt, and found. So I totally know how you feel. I felt the same way, but what I've found is, okay, it's a really nice way to let them know that they've been heard and counteract what they're saying. You know, like, someone says, look, business sounds fantastic, but, you know, I don't have the time. I just don't have the time. I'm so busy. And you go, you know what? I know how you feel. I felt the same way when I was first approached, but what I found is I've been able to build a business using pockets of time. And now I have so much more time freedom. That's for me, obviously. But, you know, so it's, you say, look, I get what you're saying. You're not just saying, oh, no, everyone's busy, you should make time, because that just makes them go, well, actually, stuff you. So, you know, it's all about that, you know, making sure they feel heard. Now, oh gosh, I don't know how much of this I should go through, because, yeah, I don't want to sell to my friends. Okay, might be one that someone says to you about the business. Like, I just don't want to be that person. I don't want to sell to my friends. So the first thing I would say is, if you don't want to be that person, chances are you won't be that person, because you're very aware of it. But you can say, look, I totally get it. I didn't want to be the person that all my friends were ignoring. But when I started to see the change in my health, my skin, my gut, or whatever it may be, I thought I would be doing a disservice if I didn't share it with them. And then when the paycheck started rolling in, they just quickly started making a difference to my life. I realized so many other people could do with what I have. And I think sometimes, oh, sorry, my phone, you know, we overconvince ourselves not to share with our nearest and dearest for fearing of crossing this invisible line. But if I know, you know, if you had someone that had bad skin, you know, weight to lose, or an unhappy gut, or working, you know, 2 jobs and not home with their kids, if you had something that could help them with that, you know, imagine not offering it to them. Like, wouldn't you feel stink? Like, that would be awful not to offer it to them, just because you're worried about what they're going to think. So you've got to, I guess, once you understand what Arbonne can actually do for people, you really are coming from a place of service. And I know with Danielle now, if she hadn't pushed me to do this, because I didn't say yes straight away, like, she did have to ask me numerous times, but if she hadn't persevered like with me, my life would look so different now. Are you right? It's all right. Yeah, my life would look so different now. So, like, I'm so grateful to her. Like, I don't know anyone in Arbonne at, you know, our level and below even, that is not so grateful to their sponsor for persevering with them. So whether it be products or, you know, business, you know, we're looking for the problem, and we are offering a solution. So that is, you know, when you can get your head around that, I guess you realize that you're coming from a place of love. You know, I don't have enough time is another big objection. And again, it's just sort of saying to people, look, no one has spare time. But what I quickly realized was if I don't start carving out some time to build something on the side, nothing is going to change in the future. I'm never going to create that time freedom doing what I'm doing. Samara's actually posted a document which goes over this, which you guys can go and have a look. It covers products being too expensive. It covers what, when people say they've read something online. When it comes to looking stuff up online, I really don't give that any credit. I mean, I think anyone would know that you can pretty much find anything you want on the internet. Like any company, you can find bad reviews, good reviews, you know, like it doesn't matter who you are. You can find out that, you know, a celebrity is cheating and, you know, there's just fake news. It's just bullshit. Even half the stuff on Corona. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not a huge believer in everything I read. So to me, that just has no merit. If someone says I Googled, I would be like, okay, you need to stop right there because we don't believe everything Google says. Okay. So that to me just has no merit, but yeah, you can, there's responses to that. Sounds too good to be true. I don't know enough people. Again, they're not knowing enough people. Not only do we coach and train you on how to talk to people, it's about sponsoring. So even if you only know 2 people, but you might bring them into the business, they might have a connection to another, you know, 400 people who have a connection to another 400 people. You've just got to have that big vision. It's not about who you know. It's about who you know and who they know and who they know. It's just that exponential growth. It's the compound effect. It's insane and it's exciting. Like this is exciting. I never thought I'd be excited for the compound effect, but I am. There we go. So this is where we've got to in life. So, and she covers a few of the other, you know, general objections. I love what I'm using. And you'd be like, you know what? That's fantastic. Try this. Let me know how it compares. I really want an honest opinion as to how our products go against what you're currently using. That's a great one when people say that they love what they're using and they're like, oh, okay, well, fair enough. Is it one of those pyramid schemes? I mean, seriously, I actually can't even believe that's still a question in this day and age. Like it's an actual, like, how could there be pyramid schemes allowed? Like they would be shut down. I mean, you guys have seen what's happened with compliance with companies, all companies, not just ours. It's, you know, hectic at the moment. Can you imagine pyramid schemes even being allowed like that? It's just, it's insane. So yeah, and basically there's a whole, so if you go to objections and what does she call it? Hang on, objections and something, saved in more nations. She's literally the whole verbiage on what to say to people is there. So that will cover that. But yeah, objections, that's it. You do. You know what? It's a skill. What you're learning a skill. You're learning how to talk to people, you know, and that's basically what we do. What have we got now? Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of my notes here. The other thing to know, as you grow your business, people will leave. People will always leave this business. If you sponsor 10 people, 10 people will not stay. Okay. You might have 2 or 3 that stick. Okay. If you sponsor someone and they leave, don't let that bother you. If you see people leaving, don't let that bother you. It is so normal. This business is simple, but it is not easy. Okay. Like I said at the start, you guys are working on belief. You are putting the effort in. You're getting a little bit of money. You're not getting the $10,000, $20,000 a month paychecks yet. Okay. But if you have the grit and the perseverance to keep doing it while you're not getting those checks, they will come. They will absolutely come. If you can stick with this, if you can sponsor, if you can show up in your business, if you can make it a priority, you will be one of the ones that make it. The only reason people fail in this business is because they leave, because they don't see the big picture. They don't see the big money quick enough. They don't have the patience. We live in an instant society where you get everything straight away. So people try Arbonne for a couple of months. It goes okay. But you know what? I'm still only earning $500 a month, $1,000 a month. It's not good enough. You know, I wanted more money. It takes longer than that. Not for everyone. We've got the Joa Perrys of the world that, you know, do it quite quickly, and that's fantastic. But that's not everyone. If you stick with this, it works. We are all doing it. You just need to be the one that doesn't give up, that just keeps going. You don't know when your next ace is going to come. We say it's like a deck of cards and you're turning them over. You might turn over 43 cards before you get to your ace. But then you might get 4 in a row. You might be one of the ones that's your second one that you turn over. And you're like, yes, kicking goals. The other bird over there still ticking cards, hasn't got her ace yet, and is going, why has she got hers? It's just how it goes, guys. It's just how it goes. You don't know who you're going to meet. That's the exciting part. It's the hard part, but it's the exciting part. You could have someone join your business tomorrow who is your next MVP. You don't know. Every day is brand new. But then you also could be waiting another 6 months. Are you still going to be here in 6 months, or are you going to have given up by then? You know, you really just have to have that grit to stick it out and to stay with it and to stay focused, and you'll be one of the winners. You will absolutely be one of the winners, but you have to show up, and not everyone can do that. So that's, you know, and that's, we try to support you as much as possible, but at the end of the day, it's going to be up to you. You're going to dig deep. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes when you're winning, it's going to be really easy. And then it's going to get hard, and you're going to have to, you know, suck it up and go a little bit longer, and then it will get really good again, and you'll start making some really good money, or you'll sponsor someone who's fantastic. Don't let what other people are doing bother you, okay? You just stick to what you're doing. Know that you're growing your business, and, you know, anything is possible, but you have to be doing the activity. You have to be booking, and you have to be sponsoring. So we've still got like 7-8 days left in this month. Go for a goal. It is not about hitting the goal. It is about who you become on the way to getting that goal. Sometimes you'll get it and sometimes you won't, okay? That's okay, but you need to go for it. So depending on where you are you going to go for DM? Are you going to try and bonus? Are you just going to try and do 1,000 QV in the last week? That's 3 30-day packs, you know? If I said to you, I'll give you $10,000 by the end of the month, if you can do 2,000 QV by the end of the month, do you reckon you could do it? If I could write you a check for 10,000 cash, I reckon you'd probably get on that phone and try and sell as many packs as possible. Because you know what? I would too. If Danielle put that out to me, I'd be like, hell yeah, we can do it. We just don't always want to do it. It's a little bit uncomfortable and the reward's not quite big enough yet. Okay. But if someone dangled that in front of you, you would be like, get off this call straight away. Boom. Like, it is possible. It's not always comfortable. So, you know, just know that you're very supported. Think about where you want to be at the end of this month. Make it a little bit uncomfortable. Just remember, setting goals is not always about getting there. It really is about what you know, who you become on the way. That is, you know, the important thing. So anyway, I'm going to go. I just thought that, yeah, hopefully that has helped you. Have I missed anything, Britt? Have I touched on everything? Sorry, guys. I sort of get a little bit passionate and excited.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. And I think that will lead really well into our training tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I know. I started like going and I'm like, oh, I'm training tomorrow. I can't like go too much into that. Beautiful. Anyway, hopefully you guys got something from that. I've got these documents. So Samara's is already on the Made for More Nations. And then the other one is just how to ask. So if you want that at all sent to you, just let me know. I've got it in Word and I can flick it across and you can just copy it. Like you can just tweak it and put your own words into it. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, and then I think to both of our lots of people, if anyone wants to have a one-on-one coaching session, if you want to sit down maybe tomorrow and or tonight, think about a really big goal that you'd like to go for, and then you'd like someone to help you like put some strategies in place, then contact Sarah or myself and we're happy to sit down on Zoom with you for like 15 minutes and just nut out some ideas, get some messages sent out with you one-on-one. So yeah, see what you can achieve in that last week.
Well done for tuning in as well, guys. You're awesome. So I'll let you get back to your Saturday afternoon. See you, everybody. Oh, I need to stop recording. Hang on.
Bye.